Hey YouTube, it's Jonesy here, Custom Kids Cars Garage, and today I have a awesome little ride-on to do a product review on for you guys. This is not what it looked like stock. So let me see if I can find one, dig it up, and I'm going to put a before picture right here. So as you can see, it does not look the same, and it is way sexier now. You probably shouldn't say that about a kid's ride-on, but I've built hundreds of these, and this is gotta be the coolest one that I have ever worked on. Let's just dig right in and go over some of the features that I absolutely love about this, because I am basically obsessed with scale details and realism. So let's check this out. Let's get a little bit closer. Okay, so right off the bat, guys, some of the positives that I want to go over are the scale details. Now what I mean by that is look at how detailed and intricate the wheels are. You know, it's got mirrors. This is kind of a weird one, but it's got step side pipes, and it's also got some side pipe things in the rear tail lights too. But check out those little miniature hood scoop or side scoops. Look at this door, guys. Guess what? That's actually a working door. Now, let's go over the information on the door. So as you can see, there's not a ton of room for the little gals or guys' legs to get in there. Now, what I can see is potential for this to get broken. You know, it just pivots right here, one pivot. And kids aren't the gentlest on stuff. And then the other thing is once it's shut, the kid actually has to pull this lever out to unlock the door. See, there's a little catch. Let's show it right here. So there's a catch. And once it's locked, kids, I can see, would have a potential to freak out, or, you know, I don't know. Maybe they'll jump over the side like the Dukes of Hazzard. I don't know. But I love the door, but you gotta teach your kids the proper way to use this. Look at this. This is the first one I've ever seen a working door. So it's got a working LED system right from the factory. Now, that's kind of rare, and these are actually cool ones. They're not joke ones. So you have to turn the key on. And it's got really nice, bright, full-size real lenses and LEDs. And in the front, we've got a very Eleanor-esque looking headlight system. I like the color. They're kind of a blue actinic. So it's got headlights and then the grill mounted lights. I know they're not exactly where Eleanor's are, but for a kid's ride-on, that's awesome. Okay, so here at the Custom Kids Cars Garage, we don't leave anything alone, and we're always looking for potential. Well, how can we upgrade these? Well, let's just pop off the seat here. So on the seat, there's actually two little quarter turn bolts, and the seat is actually a little bit of a pain in the you-know-what to get off. It's got these little catches in the back, so you kind of have to go down and then hook it up. So you take off the seat, and in most ride-ons, you have clear access to the motors. Well, you've got to take off this one last cover here, and voila! So stock, it comes with 5 50 series motors, and it says right on them they're 13,500 RPM motors. Now that's actually kind of slow. You could easily upgrade those motors, and it's got a decent gauge wire, so it will handle that added amp draw. So you could put like 18,000 RPM motors in there and boost the speed, because I haven't verified that the power goes through a circuit board or a control board, and if you add 18 volts to this, it could fry it. So stock, the battery is 12 volts, but it's a nice big 12 volt, 12 amp hour. Most of them, the companies, they cheap out and put teeny tiny little 7 amp hour or 9 amp hour. An amp hour relates to the capacity or the size of the gas tank. So bigger number, longer run time. You can see that we've also lowered it. We supported it with some stainless steel braces there. We lowered it, I think it was 2.5 inches, something like that, 2 inches, because stock, it looked like this. And it had this ugly jacked up stance. Now it's nice, tight, tucked up wheel. That's about as low as we could go, because we make these things totally drivable. They don't rub when you turn. We raised it up so much that on this driver's side gearbox, because they're mirrored, and it literally had to get notched out there. It does not affect the drivability at all or anything like that, but that's how much we lowered it in the back. And in the front, we just did some drop spindles. Basically, we just ground off all the welds and we slid the axle, I guess you would say the steering, down towards the bottom of the spindle. And under the hood, since we're in the front here, you can see this matte black paint. Well, guess what? That is not stock. I tried to not have the labor of having to paint this, but the black gloss stickers were so terrible. They were bubbling up, and I just couldn't stand it. It was definitely worth the labor to peel those off, scuff it, mask it, and paint in a matte black. And I'm glad I did, because it's actually got this little reveal line, and it's really the way that it should be. I'm really proud of it. I just think it looks so much better, and hopefully I have some good pictures to dig up and show you guys. All right, so these are actually real working little hood pins. So they're quarter turns. So you turn it there. And also on the hood is these were fake. This was a solid molded plastic, and we went through and we dremeled that out so that it actually looks like a real hood scoop. So once you pop the hood here, it's actually an upgraded motor. It's not like an old 302 or 351 or anything like that. It's got a molded engine cover, and I'm not a Ford guy, so I don't know what that is, if that's supposed to be some cool motor, a Coyote motor, I don't know. Maybe one of you guys can comment below. So it's got this little hood pin, and it accepts it right here in the corner, which it's okay, but you can see it makes the hood kind of tilt. So I'm going to assume that the ideal buyer of this would be a Mustang lover that goes to car shows. And to me, it just looks goofy, like your hood's bent. So I don't know if you would re-support that in the middle. I don't know, but it's a minor little issue that I have with it. So I just put screws in there so that it wouldn't pop this up. So let me pull these two little screws out here. Normally there's, what is there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I don't know, I think 11 or 12 screws that hold this top cover down. So here's the goodness of this build, one of my favorite parts. So we're all about making these fast, and look at all that room. It actually has the working hood, and the whole compartment is opened up where you could actually add batteries and ESC, relays, whatever you want. It's so awesome. This is actually for sale, and if somebody wants to pay to have this upgraded, we will definitely love to do that. But we can't just throw, you know, another 800 bucks into this with upgrades unless somebody wants to pay for it. So as far as the lowering kit, we lowered the body, so we had to actually just drill out where the spindle is, and it just raced it up right into it. So it worked out real slick. It was a very easy lowering kit, you know, just some basic cutting and welding and grinding and painting. So love that. Okay, get this guy back in place there. Okay, so we talked about the potential to easily make this faster. Well, spinning ain't winning, and this particular model has all 4 tires that have nice wide traction bands. So there's the fronts, and here's the back. It's a nice wide rubber tire band. So I see that this thing could have potential to do some wheelies. And if you wanted to get better weight transfer in the back, you could even put the batteries up underneath in here, that area. I know a lot of people like to do that. You know, this is kind of more of a classic car instead of like a pro mod like we like to build. But there's just tons of room to add batteries, and that's one of the most frustrating things is these things are so small. Adding all these upgrades, there's not much room, but not on this one. The next thing that we changed, you can see that the wheels, they were just that fake chrome, and it just didn't look right to us. And we just painted them in a gunmetal gray, and we left the tri-spoked knockoffs the way they were. We didn't do anything else but sandblast and paint the hubcaps. Another thing we'll talk about is the stickers. The stickers is both good and bad. I love that they're these raised vinyl, but when they came in, they were all peeling off, and a couple of them we couldn't even, well, we decided not to save them, and one of them was on the stock shifter here. So here's the stock shifter, and it just looked lame. So at the auto parts store like AutoZone, we found this skull, and all we did is pop the screw off and clamp that on. It was a direct bolt on. So yeah, it had like a Cobra sticker on the top here, so we didn't use that. But like this one, for instance, it was all peeling off. It was all curled up like an orange peel. We had to use the heat gun, heat it up, and then pushed it back on and held it, and it seems to be holding up good. I believe it had some kind of sticker on the back here. We didn't reuse it, but just love that rear end. This is one of my favorite ride-ons that I've ever worked on. Oh, the mirrors, that's where we were talking about the sucky stickers. They were just paper-based stickers, so at the auto parts store, you can get that plastic mirror material. We literally just made a template out of tape, cut it out, and put in 2 working, looks like real mirrors now. Oh, what else we got? Charge port. So we got to charge this thing after your kid drives it, right? Well, the seat's kind of a pain in the butt, but it does have a charge port here. It comes with a really sucky charger. I'm going to give it a thumbs down. Now on the specs, it's a 15 volts output, but only a 0.8 amp charge rate. This battery will accept safely up to a 2.4 amp charge. So this is going to take forever to charge, which it's safe. And it's a good thing because this is the dummy charger, and I'm going to put the link up below because this is how you're supposed to charge a battery. Highly recommend just taking your connector here and cutting out the diode, because right now power won't flow out and a smart charger won't sense that. So once you plug this in, a smart charger will sense when that battery's at full capacity and shut it off, but that's for a whole nother video. But it's awesome that it's got a charge port. See, it just cut power and then turned it back on. So that's actually a kind of a good thing. So when the charger's plugged in, it cuts power so that the kid can't get in and take off, kind of like somebody at the gas station. They left their gas nozzle in the gas tank filler and takes off. So when that's plugged in, it's dead. So I see why they do it, but from my experience, most smart chargers won't be able to charge because that diode right here is not allowing power through. It's simple as cutting it out and resoldering it directly to the negative terminal there. Now, the size of it in the pictures, I believe on the instructions here, let me look. Oh, it doesn't have pictures. Must have been on the box that showed 2 kids in here. Well, you can see that the steering wheel, yeah, it's a little bit offset. I'd call this a kid and a half. Now, it's small and it has a weight rating of 88 pounds. A typical, like a Power Wheels Mustang, and I'm going to put a picture of these side by side to show you the size difference. So 88 pounds is kind of low. A normal Power Wheels is like 120, 130 pounds. So be cautious of that when you're buying this and ordering it. Now that Toys R Us is dead, you can't go in and test drive these things. You got to order it through the mail. And when it comes and you got an 8-year-old and their knees are sticking up to their chin, it might have been a bad buy. And the stance of it really just was the first thing we had to address. It looked like a jacked up Mustang. Just terrible. Now, much better. So as far as the features, it's got a couple different sounds on the steering wheel. That one's fake, and that's horn. So I guess it's just the 2. Engine start up and horn. And with the sounds, if your kid is sensitive to sounds, because we've done a lot of special needs builds, they don't like sound effects, this is a volume control. So there's no sound. So it's on a dial. Pretty cool. It's not an actually off switch, but you can definitely turn it down. And the vehicle has a keyed ignition. It does not pull out, but it will not operate with the key off. You turn the key on. So, and it is a normal 12 volt. It's got a high speed, which is all the way forward, low speed, which puts the motors in series. So it'll go 2.5 miles an hour. And of course, reverse is all the way up. But that's the big one, guys. I really wanted to get a product review and overview of this before this sells. I expect this to be a quick sell. I've got it listed on our Facebook page. You can check our Facebook out right here. It's $800 plus shipping, and we've got to start moving some inventory. It's early pre-spring. This is when we start getting busy. And when I mean busy, we've got all kinds of stuff. We've got another one from Big Toys to put together and do a review video on. It's the Corvette Stingray. So if you're not a Mustang fan or Ford fan, we've got a Chevy here for you. And then we're just about done working on this Shelby Cobra. We've lowered this. We're getting ready to sandblast those, paint them black. Here's an example of a poor paint job from the factory. You can see all the overspray. I don't know if we're going to do that in a black or a silver. I don't know. But so yeah, we got all kinds of stuff coming in the shop. So we need to start making some videos. So if you guys like our channel and this video, give us a thumbs up. And again, as always, thanks for watching.